So just a bit of an update on because obviously as time goes on, as things get old, you can sort of talk about them to some degree. Um, is where when things were just beginning, it would have been an act of, I don't know, danger, whatever threat, right? Whatever. I'm sure that in very rare cases, in very small cases, um, the things that have happened, the implementation of rules, right, the mandates, all of that, when there has been the so-called pandemic, the lockdowns, and all of that, maybe it had a good influence on some places, but places like here it has exacerbated, right? So it's made worse the problems we already had. So the one of the issues that are still not being addressed, or if they are being addressed, is being addressed more covertly and off the books, being that there is different rules. There should be general. I mean, if you are trying to promote equality, right, then there should be like similar rules for um, some of these ladies out here, right? Both from like a non-professional and a professional way, right? So that issue existed already, right? The likes of DEI hires and stuff was already taking a toll on the guys, right? And not just on the guys, but in the long term on the ladies as well. Because if you are creating a divide, if you are, and especially I think the other way is bad, but it doesn't make such an impact like overall. Because if you got chicks that, um, I don't know, I mean, having a lesser, having a bit of a mental health issue is not as, it's worse, is worse off for the guys than the chicks not having a mental health issue. But so obviously it takes a toll on people's mental health overall, right? Like having less opportunities to go to work, so on and so forth, right? Because you got whatever, whether it's immigrants, as some people say, or chicks taking the jobs, right, instead of the guys. So there's mental health issues that come out of that anyway. Everyone knows that, if you get fired or whatever. Now, they're like that, but when it comes to the guys dating the chicks, is never really an issue when it comes to how much money they earn. But when it comes to the guys, it's bloody detrimental. Like it's to some ladies is the end all be all, whatever the guy makes. So they've taken the jobs off the guys, and still taking the jobs off the guys. Maybe being really happy from the point of view that they're making money, but then like a year later, and this I'm talking like 10 years ago more, like this stuff is old news now. And then, like later down the track, they turn around and, oh, there's no guys to date, talala. Well, you have collectively gone out of your way to make sure that these guys don't have jobs, right? Like this is just from like a professional standpoint. Then you got, oh, he's a bad guy, orange man, bad, don't give him a job. You got that. Then, oh, he's dangerous, whether it's true or not. You got that. There's many, many, many other reasons like this why they take jobs away from people. And then to really, what really shows that it's not okay, right? You go into the supermarket and you see all these ladies like stacking up the shelves, as where before it might have been one or two, and they'd usually be happy because they're there by choice. Now, as there's less jobs and there's recession and stuff, it's like pretty much ladies for most part, and they're like upset, or like you can just see they're not as happy chappy, or just it's taking a bit of a toll on them, as it seems. And then what really took the cake for me is, especially over the last 5 years, so they both increased the number of jobs, and jobs specifically like the emergency services, that shouldn't be a massive number, right? And if there is a big number, it's because you've got a lot of issues, and that shouldn't continue long term. If it continues long term, you have a fundamental problem. Just like you should have a amount of military service people when there's wartime, and that number should be significantly less when it's peacetime, right? So yeah, okay, like it makes sense to have like heaps of emergency services people during the pandemic, specifically the medical stuff, right? But it doesn't make sense to have like, I don't know, more than 10% of the population be like police and stuff. And then out of that, to have like a very large number of ladies that fall within the category that are prone to being prejudiced, to, be part of these extremist groups, right? Because you got normal standing up for whatever rights, right? You got all manner of activists or whatever you want to call it, right? Or people that uphold law and or try to make it even better, right? So that people get trespassed on less, right? Overall, both men and women, right? Or whatever else people is out there, right? But I mean, this stuff is pretty basic. So by making it, say, more fair and more equal, taking in some ladies, because I reckon, in my humble opinion, it was overdone. Like they did it more to get a higher ESG score, within the corporate world, rather than doing it to get a higher ESG score and make it genuinely better for the people that are, the meant to be the beneficiaries of these services. And it's meant to be public safekeeping and stuff like this, right? For the people that are doing that stuff, like the police officer, is meant to make them like better people every day as they do their job. Now, if you've got people that are doing that job and there's too many that there's required, just like at any other job, if it's too many people and they're still hired and they're still getting paid, they're going to start playing around. They've got no work. They're going to do stuff that they're not meant to be doing, just full stop. And that takes a toll on their mental health. Makes them worse off people, and potentially it drives the targeting guys and stuff. Probably girls as well. Makes them a bit nuts too, doesn't it? So that's some of the repercussions of DEI hires, specifically ladies over here. Too many. And I don't know, doing some sort of Machiavellian mind tactics and stuff like this when people have like genuine like physical needs, like a job to make money, to get stuff, things of this nature, so they don't address that whatsoever, like the main core issues. But then they've got all of these other things that, it's like the end all be all. So it is what it is. I reckon is towards the end of it, and you can just see it in them, like, like these like young 20-year-old beautiful ladies that like to me, it makes sense, right? Like everyone's got the choice to do whatever they want, but they look like they would be so happy in like a acting place, say like to be on Shortland Street or something like that, right? To be the stars of New Zealand, things like this, or whatever. Otherwise, if not, having children at home, looking after the children, looking after the pets, looking after the neighbors, things like this, and just stuck in a car and just with the wire on their ear and just like it's sad. It's sad, but hey, there's just my opinion, and the only way to for things to move forward or whatever, they've got to run their course. They've got to, it is what it is. It's just it gets a bit a bad vibey when you've sort of noticed the stuff for like decades, and it's just like that. What is and why really the only one that can see these things, and the rest that they can see these things. Why are they not doing anything about it? I can't really do anything about it, but it doesn't change the fact that it just makes the world a soft place. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Take it easy.